when I created a reward and punishment system for myself as a new entrepreneur, it was really, really helpful. And it was something so small like, hey, I'm not going to go to eat lunch until I make my 50 calls. Or, hey, if I get this done by, 7 p.m. tonight, I can go, catch a movie. If I run my 4 appointments today, I get to go do this. If I hit this number for the weekend, I get to go get a new suit. Or if we hit this number for the quarter, we get to take this trip. Or if I do this, I get to take my family here for Christmas. Like, whatever it is. But I realize that a lot of us, we don't have, it's normal. It's normal not to have a reward and punishment system. And when you don't have a reward and punishment system, what ends up happening is you punish yourself constantly for a bunch of small rewards, and then the punishment becomes you don't get the real reward that you wanted, right? So what does that look like? Well, I'm just going to go home early today and I could relax, and it's nice, right? You get to relax a little bit, right? But the punishment is that now you can't buy your dream home, right? So small reward versus the big reward. And this is what it comes down to this question of what do you want now versus what do you want more? And I think a lot of people are fighting themselves on that because, we smell popcorn like, man, I want to get some popcorn, or man, I want to sleep in, man, I want to do this, man, let me get that ice cream. And we make these choices, and then we regret when we get on a scale. We regret when we put our clothes on. We regret when we're standing in front of a mirror and you're like, man, I'm not happy with what I'm seeing. It was because in the moment you made a decision on what you felt that you wanted now more. That became more powerful. That was more prevalent. That was what you were thinking about versus what you wanted more. And that's the battle. It's the reward versus punishment. My wife is a very disciplined person, and she's like, babe, I love bread, I love rice, I love this, but you know what? I want to lose weight. We've had our second baby. My body didn't just naturally go back to the way it did the first time. So, but I am going to get back to this weight. And when she cut it off, and for me, I say, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna cut back on carbs, and you know what happens until sushi time comes, okay? Until a little bit of dessert at night. And she's a disciplined person. When she makes up her mind, she sticks it out, and I admire that about her. And when we look at people that have a great body or have a great business, they've just created their own reward and punishment program. And what ends up happening is that the going through the motions of waking up early and getting in the gym and taking care of the family stuff and handling the business and working hard, that in itself eventually becomes the reward. Not so much the stuff that you're going to buy or get, but who you become. And when you're in alignment with who you want to be and who you are, and these two come together, the psychological momentum that produces, the psychological peace of mind, the confidence that produces is something that you admire when we see in other people, and sometimes we don't think we could have it until you go through it and you actually make that commitment and you create that reward and punishment system, and you learn to delay, that gratification. The rewards get so much bigger, so much more fulfilling, where you're buying, for me, helping my parents buy a home, buying my dream home, buying my Ferrari, saving $1 million. Like these things that, man, I committed, man, I stayed with it, man, I didn't give up, man, I made it work, keeping a team together, building a business for the last 19 years of building relationships and working through challenges and keeping people together, right? The reward of that, when you're in it, when you're like, man, I don't want to have to make that call. I don't want to have to take that meeting. I don't want to have to drive that far, right? But you do it. You punish yourself, right? The work sometimes, right? You punish yourself. You make yourself do it. You hold yourself accountable. The reward of that is invaluable. And I think all of us know what we want. We know what we don't want. And unfortunately, we make a lot of short-term instant gratification decisions that end up stealing the life we want. And then 5 years later, you're like, man, I could have been here, but why am I not further than where I thought I was going to be? Because somewhere along the way, we traded, right? What we wanted more for what we wanted now. And so I want to challenge all of you to create a reward and punishment system. For me, it was, hey, I'm not going to go home until 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock because I'm on this run. At one point, I said, I'm not going to go home before midnight for these next 30 days. And, you go through these seasons where you make a commitment. Man, if I hit this, I'm getting this. If I hit this, we're getting that membership or buying that boat or buying that car. Take the time to create a reward and punishment system for yourself. It will help you start to lead yourself better. Take care, everybody.